Let's talk about tubes. That's right. We're going to talk about tubes and tube amplifiers today. So stick around. Welcome back to the thrift shop. Today I'm playing with the Darkvoice. This is the oldest amplifier that I've had in my system, the first one that I bought of recent vintage. Okay, at least let's put it that way. And I can't sell it. And in fact, I'm going to be talking about a product today that I don't believe you can get new, or at least you can't get through APOS. Maybe you can get it through Amazon. I haven't even looked. I'll try to look on Amazon and put a link down below. But so the Darkvoice, there's tons of reviews, and this is way overdone. But today we have something to talk about, and that is LinLai Tubes. Nice little box of tubes. And we've all heard the names, or at least if you've been paying attention to tubes, Pisvane, and there's been others out there, but we're not talking about tungstils. We're talking about LinLai Tubes. This is a ES or 6S N7 tube. Look inside there. Beautiful tube. And you know what? Sometimes how a tube looks is just as important as how it sounds, because people want to see a cool looking tube fired up on their amplifier. So yeah, so we're going to talk about LinLai Tubes. We're going to compare it against a variety of tubes, and we're just going to talk about it. We're just going to have kind of a fun day here, just talking about it again. So I have the Denafrips Aries 2 here powering the Darkvoice. I don't like the pairing between the shit Bifrost 264 and this amplifier for whatever reason, maybe too much treble. But this pairing is magical. So while you see me doing the reviews and I talk about all the thing, the i5 Pro I can and IEMs and headphones and all this good stuff, when I sit back and listen, I'm really, I just, for a personal enjoyment standpoint, I am putting on a high impedance headphone, this case, the FIO FT3 headphone, not the highest end, just it is glorious with this amplifier. And I'm sure other headphones are. I would love to have a ZMF. So ZMF, send me some. I need to check them out at CanJam. I was going to go to New York, but decided not to. So instead, I'm going to do videos. So, but at late at night, if I just want to sit and listen to music, I am going to listen to this on a high impedance headphone. Hands down, it's great. I've used the Darkvoice as a preamp on my 2.1 channel. I split out the RCAs coming out the back. But it works. Anyways, it's glorious. And yeah, this thing sits here. It's on my desk. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about tubes, but believe it or not, it is something that I probably listen to the most. And today we're just going to talk about some tubes and just have some fun. And I'm just going to ramble on, and feel free to drop some comments, to like, subscribe, help out the channel grow. Don't be a freeloader watching someone's free videos and not liking or subscribing. Anyways, so if you've been in the market for, well, let's talk about what the Darkvoice comes with originally. You have this big tube here, and to me it looks like a Russian tube. You can see that. Maybe it's Chinese, I don't know. There are some symbols on there. I do believe the Darkvoice is made in China. Nothing wrong with the stock tubes that come with it. Here's the 6S N7. This would be the 6A S7 tube. Yeah, they work. They're fine, but you always want to improve sound. That's the part of buying a tube amp, is that you can upgrade. You're not set on, what's inside the transistor, the op amp. You don't have to pull this thing apart to change op amps. All you got to do is swap a tube. So, so that's what comes stock. Then I have options going forward. So on the 6SN, we'll start back actually with the 6AS7. So I replaced mine. The first tube, that alternative tube that I've used here, is this Citron Jan 7236. This is an amazing tube, pretty high-end tube. The problem with everyone talking about all these tubes from the 50s and 60s is they're hard to get, and they go up in price every year. So it's not really talking about how great these are or how good this is or what version it is because it's like finding a barn find car or something, So yes, they're cool. Yes, they're fun. But that can be problematic. I run the 6080 and mine is a Raytheon 6080 and it just gives so much more juice to it. I believe the gain is slightly higher than the standard 6AS7. I don't know if you know, I am not a tube expert. I just listen to the tubes. So 6080 gives a little more juice. It's a little more exciting. And I don't have any hum in my system other than when you turn it on. Within 20 seconds, it's gone. So the 6080 is dead quiet and is really juicing up the system. It makes the system come alive. Now, when we talk about the 6SN7, you have a lot of options. I actually have two of these. These are Sylvania GTB 6A or 6SN7 tubes, and quite cool. The problem is you stick this on the front, and kind of looks dorky. You got two small tubes there. You don't have this big tube in the back, which looks really cool. I would love to find a Western Electric or something like that, but anyways, it sounds great. It's clean. It's more neutralish. It's why get a tube amp to go more neutralish? I would rather have a little more fun with my tubes, and that's why I enjoy listening to this for fun sessions. So going in that direction, Pisfane. This is a cool blue tube. You don't get the glory of seeing the lights unless you turn this thing. You have it in the dark, no lights. You can see a little bit, but it's really dark in there. But sitting in front, this thing just looks cool. It's like, hey, this guy's an audiophile. He's got his stuff together for whatever reason. But it's a cool tube. It sounds great. There's a little more meat on the bone than running a vintage GTB tube. It's just it's cleaner sound. It's like a veil is coming off, and you're getting a little more detail. So a modern tube like this Pisfane, and I'll put a link down below. I think you can get these for 60 to 70 bucks, so it's inexpensive. You can buy it if you need another one. They're currently making them. You don't have to go on the hunt for some old vintage stuff. Really good tube to buy, and I've used this the longest. But what's happened in the last year, as I mentioned, is the LinLai has come along. And there used to be another brand, the Shungguan Treasure. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but apparently their facility burnt down or something like that. But you can still buy them. I just don't think they're being manufactured anymore. So once that inventory is depleted, well, it's gone. So LinLai pops up, and there's some controversy surrounding this. So as I mentioned, the LinLai box that you see here, I bought from AliExpress. I can't remember what I paid on AliExpress. I want to say it was 120 to 140, somewhere in there. I will put a link. I did check Amazon, and it's like $169 through Amazon, it's better than buying from AliExpress, right? And it takes forever. Amazon's going to be faster, and that's why it's probably a little more expensive. But it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. And the controversy is that you can buy this tube from AliExpress and, again, get it pretty reasonably priced. And if you do a Google search, you're going to see LinLai, I believe, USA, or LinLai Global. I'm sorry, LinLai Global. And apparently this is a cooperative agreement for distribution in the United States, where a company got with LinLai and they buy those products. You're going to see that the labels are printed differently. They're not horizontal. They're going to be vertical. And they're claiming that these tubes are not the original LinLai and that you have to pay $265 or $305 per tube. Keep in mind that's $140 to $160 for two tubes. But under this distribution deal to get LinLai tubes in the United States, you're going to have to pay $265 to $305. And apparently that group that put together that cooperative is getting the best of the best tubes. And maybe that's true. I am not measuring tubes to say this one's better than this one. I'm just knowing that I can buy this off AliExpress for a pretty reasonable price compared to Pisfane, and I'm getting glorious sound. I have to say that the 6SN7 is the best tube that I've used on the Darkvoice. Now, I don't have any other preamps running 6SN7. I would love to get the shit Freya and use 6SN7 tubes in it. It's my goal, and I think it would look cool with these tubes. I'm sure someone's already done it out there, but how does it sound, right? So, you know, this system here, the Darkvoice with the 6080 and the LinLai 6SN7, is just glorious, and that's why I want to listen to it. Vocals, just first of all, it's like the separation of vocals, instruments. Things are just pulled apart, separated so much more. There seems to be more harmonics in the music that the voice and the tail off of a male or female vocalist. It just lingers longer and it sounds better. It just fills in the gaps. String elements in this are just beautiful. If you like acoustic music, you're going to fall in love with the sound. Again, you're going to have to pair it with something that works from a DAC standpoint. I'm using the Denver series, so R2R DACs do make this whole thing kind of the synergy work together. And I am totally blown away with LinLai Tubes. I've had this for over a year and I've waited. I haven't seen much on the internet about it, so I'm doing a video on LinLai Tubes, Darkvoice, if you can get it. I know there are other tube amps out there, so if you can find one, maybe a X Duo, I'm sure it's good. I would like to actually get some for comparison, but it's my video for today, and I enjoy that you're here. We're together, and feel free to drop some comments. Tell me what tubes you've used. Maybe there's somebody out there who may be asking questions. Maybe you can help them. I can just tell you what I've found is audio nirvana is with this LinLai tube and the Darkvoice. So thanks for sticking around. Appreciate it. Take care. Peace.